The last video help is going to show you information that is specific to the unusual things, I might call it. I told you about the submit and revert button, but it's very important that you realize that when you're on the server through a browser, and that's specific to the browser only, that when you actually edit information in here, you have to submit it before you leave the screen you're viewing. And that includes if you're in a tab and then you hit the portal button and you've made edits over here, you're going to get an error. You need to submit before you hit the tab portal. If you hit the portal and you haven't saved it, you're going to get kind of tied up because it's going to want to revert, and then you're going to have to go backward using the browser return button that's at the top of the screen to stay on the same page and then submit it. So it's a good idea to submit it before you leave. Along with that being on the server, when you do the show hide button and it shows you the browser like menu top at the top of the screen, when you do the show hide, make sure when you leave the application that you log out using the logout icon that's at the upper left-hand corner of the menu bar at the top of the screen. If you don't do that and you leave the screen and then you try to come right back in again, you're going to be blocked. You'll be blocked for an hour. If you leave it more than 15 minutes and you walk away and you did not log out, if you try to log back in, there's a protection on the server to force anybody that might be trying to invade on your password to be blocked for at least 1 hour. That is not a good thing when you don't log out, because it also takes resources on the server and ties them up that other people that are using the server to access information will get a lesser experience because you're using resources and slowing down everybody on the internet for that particular viewing site that you're on. If everybody did that and combined all the logins and left them running for an hour, it would cause a lot of problems. On the same thing that happens, if you walk away for 15 minutes, it's going to automatically log you out. That's no activity on the screen for 15 minutes. You will be automatically logged out. That doesn't mean that you can't come right back in, because you can log right back in and then come back if you don't wait more than a longer period of time than 20-25 minutes. So if you come back in and you try to log back in and it doesn't allow you, it's because you walked away without logging out. If you're going to be gone longer than 15 minutes, just log out. Okay. I did point out that adding a new record for a new topic is part of the things that you need to be aware of. Another one is these underlying topic areas here. For example, I use this when I'm editing the screen to add new users, but I'll show you what it does. If you click on this, it's going to bring you into this screen. And what you do is you add a new record, you add your name and your email, and that way it adds it to the listing down here below. All the users that are in here are current developers or users that want to be on the system and have a login. This is not their login. This is just their name and their email address. If you're looking for a specific person, this is a good way to find their name and their email address to send them an email. Once again, if this is edited, you have to submit it. You can do a find, but the find is only going to find in these fields up here if you're looking for somebody, and that can be done by using the scroller if it's on the screen. Clicking on this button, if there's more than one person in here, will shift the data up here to that person. If an email address needed to be corrected, you can correct your own email address by modifying it here. You also have to submit when you get done. Going back to the application screen again, you'll note that there is a code library list view. The code library list view is a listing of all the area for the portal information that you'd see in the tabbed area. And this is the basic place where if you're looking for something in the tabbed area and you click on it, you can see that it'll actually drop down and show you all the information in that particular field if you wanted to read it. And in this case, you can see where I have all the topics for the user guide in here, and you can just click on those and get a quick reference as to what is in that particular piece of information, and then using the code library, click over to that area and read that particular script purpose within the tabbed area on that first record. And then you'll be able to also read exactly where it's at. For example, it has the library ID. If you scroll way down here, you'll see that the library ID starts to be for each individual item that's in the library. Like we were looking at number 8 on an earlier video. This would be where you'd find the simple slideshow I was demonstrating, and also its topic level at the script purpose area. This will take you back to the main application information. This will take you back to the code library. Now, the code library is a sub-record or the portal record, so you can jump right into a portal record if you want to go directly to it to read the information within that area in a larger view area. So that is important. Now, I want to point out another thing. When you go back to the application library and you say, for example, you click on a portal, notice how it doesn't work. You have to have some kind of data, no matter what it is, in one field in order to be able to move into a portal, because you have not created the record until some kind of data has been added to the tabbed area portal record, the individual portal record. And as you note down here, it says do not do finds, which is the find to find information. Do that in the individual portal record, which is this record that you're looking for. So if you're looking for a dictionary piece of information, then this is where you would look for it, or the script purpose in this area. Whatever area you look at for whatever level of what field you're in, that's the information where it's going to search for that piece of word or phrase that you want to be searching for. So script location, every time something is used in a specific way, that's where you would look. Syntax, again, you can look in here for special syntax that people have added for handlers and the script itself in order to understand how it's used. And that would be also done with the find. And as I restated before, when you get done and you've already searched for stuff, make sure you click the show all to return all records to the view, because the person following you may have difficulty if you've done a search and the records in selection are smaller than what is in all the records that are available. And remember, if you make any edits or changes, to submit it in the portal record as well before you leave, or they will not be saved and you'll get an error if you're on the server, on the cloud server. Okay, going back to the app, the last thing I want to point out is that if you're using this application, this is kind of like motherhood, as my fellow information people would tell you. Do not put things in that are topic or information that are not relevant or have personal feelings to the point where you're not really being abject about what you're adding as far as information is concerned. In this particular application, this is relevant information, and people do not want to discuss your personal opinion. You can show different kinds of syntax and approaches, but do not verbalize a whole bunch of information that is not relevant to the answer that people are looking for. We have people that tend to embellish and get verbose about things that have nothing to do with an answer for somebody to read about. This is a library where people want to find information and treat it like a library. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me by email.